Welcome to Simply Bitcoin, the channel that breaks down all the daily Bitcoin news from Twitter, the daily fail, the daily meme review, software releases, the websites by plebes. Drop us a like and subscribe. All right, let's kick it off with the numbers. Here we go. So, current block height of 663,736. The current Bitcoin price, 28,900. Chain rewrite date. There we go.
I don't have Satoshi with me, so I have to make the chicken noise. Anyways, guys, if you prefer the digital chicken voice versus the Nico chicken voice, while we replace Satoshi, because I left Satoshi, I'm traveling right now, mention that in the comments. I prefer the digital or I prefer Nico. So we know and we do the best video possible. Anyways, Phil, sorry for the interruption.
No worries. Chain rewrite days, 607, and the total lightning capacity, 1,056.61. Very respectable.
Great looking numbers, the best looking numbers we've ever seen. And for anyone who's confused as to why I just broke down in the chicken, no, it's not but we have Satoshi, the Bitcoin chicken, and he clucks every time the price of Bitcoin reaches an all-time high. Unfortunately, Satoshi's not with us, so I had to replace his noises. Anyway, Phil, it's time for
the daily fail. XRP will be delisted from Binance effective Wednesday, January 13th, 2021. Look, we've said this many times. This is one of those things where the writing has been on the wall for a long time. People, especially Bitcoiners, have been, warning, the, XRP people and, the people that sit there and cheerlead this, this project that really doesn't need to be a token. And it's just brutal, because at the end of the day, these people, that is time and money and, that they earned, that they've put into this because they believed in it. And, they're getting wrecked.
We called this, right?
We
called this 3 or 4 days ago.
Many people before.
We called, we could speculate that, Bitcoin XRP was a security. We could speculate on that, but I'm saying we've been calling that XRP is dead the moment that the SEC made that announcement.
Yeah.
Right. We both said, look, it's dead. It's inevitable. Exchanges are going to start delisting it. And that's exactly what's happening. And the reason is, guys, it's a very simple equation. If you're a business, you don't want that type of legal risk, right? When Ripple was deemed a security, now as an exchange, you're vulnerable if you allow people to continue trading Ripple and you expose yourself to potential legal action from the US government. And that's something you don't want to do as a business, as an exchange, right? Because a lot of these exchanges, they don't care. They'd rather have Ripple keep trading. That's more fees for them.
Yep.
But it just goes to show that if an exchange is delisting Ripple, that the cons heavily outweigh the pros.
And just to add, it's not just Binance. Bittrex also announced that they're delisting them as well. So you've got the biggest exchanges all announcing the exact same thing, which really doesn't surprise me one bit.
Yeah, you have all of them. You have all the big ones. You have Bittrex. You have Binance. You have all the big guys. And you have Coinbase, which we reported yesterday.
Yep, Coinbase as well.
At this point, it's time to jump off ship. If you have any Ripple, you should have dumped it for Bitcoin years ago. But, like we say, everyone has to pay a price of tuition, especially when you're first getting into this. It's time for
the daily meme review.
All right, guys. So we got a meme by Brecky. Let's check it out. It is, I think it's a dubbed of Nuriel. Let's check it out. I haven't seen it before. Let's check it out.
Why does it not deserve a place in a portfolio?
Well, actually, I have come on this show because I wanted to apologize for trolling the Bitcoin community for all these years. I've started reading more. I've read the Bitcoin Standard. I've read Inventing Bitcoin by Jan Pritzker. And, I've been listening to more podcasts. I've been doing all sorts of things. I've been studying. I've been doing my own research finally instead of listening to that idiot Peter Schiff. And what I wanted to say is that Bitcoin does deserve a place in the portfolio. All the other shitcoins, the Ripples, they are scams. 100% scams. But the thing is, Bitcoin has all the fundamentals to be a world reserve currency. I finally see that now, and I want to apologize. And you know, I just bought some Bitcoin, and I'm going to keep stacking sats, as they say. Thank you to Matt Odell and to Marty Bent. I love your podcast. And I also want to give a huge shout out to my friend Giacomo Zucco, my fellow Italian Bitcoiner, and to all the other hodlers out there. Excuse my pronunciation. But the thing is, Bitcoin is not a scam. It never has been a scam. And, you know, I'm here with you all, and I cannot wait to go to the 100K party at Michael Saylor's yacht. He's already invited me now that he knows I'm a hodler. And to everyone else, to the people buying all the scams and the ripples and the shitcoins and the BCashes and the stupid Litecoin, what I say to you is have fun staying poor.
Dude. I'm lost for words right now. I'm gonna give that an 8.5, Phil. What about you?
Yeah. I'm going also with I'm gonna go with you on this one. 8.5.
Awesome. Yeah. Yep. So why'd you give an 8.5?
Okay, so I like that they use that that meme of the the people singing and everything, from the choir and all that, from their church. So I think that's pretty cool. So it's got some good messaging. When it comes to Nouriel, right, he's not really a known character in every circle. So that's really specific, I think, to, people probably in equities, finance, and obviously us Bitcoiners, because he loves to make these ridiculously stupid comments. So yeah, and it was also funny.
Yeah, it was a great meme. It was original, and it required a lot of work. So shout out to Brecky for putting in that amount of work to make that work. Like, dude, that's
very
a
well done
of a whole interview. So yeah, it was a good meme. It was a good meme. Phil, it's time for
the Daily News, sponsored by Crypto Cloaks.
All right, everybody. The news for today, we're going to start off with the tweet, and then we're going to move on to some more articles. But because this is by BTC King 555, he has been covering Bitmain and all their debacles, right? From Bitcoin Cash to all the Jihan F-ups, right? For the past 3 or 4 years, this guy's the account, right? So breaking from when someone says the mainland, they're referring to the Chinese mainland. So breaking from Chinese mainland, the genius, obviously being sarcastic, Jihan, who torpedoed Bitmain IPO and sold company for 220,000 Bitcoin inventory for the failed pet project Bitcoin Cash, is out. For his 20% stake, he gets to keep some irrelevant assets, 500 million in Chinese currency, and Sequoia in charge will be driving IPO with Mike Ree in 2021. So look, as a miner, I think it's awesome that Jihan is out. I was never a big fan of his manager skills. He's a great entrepreneur. He's not a great manager. That happens often, right? And what else could I say? It's pretty big news in the mining world. It made quite a big splash. I think it was reported officially, but now he's officially out, right? And I think Jihan's very happy. They give him a huge payday, and I think the mining community is very happy because Bitmain is in better hands. And for anyone that doesn't know, Bitmain is one of the biggest ASIC manufacturers in the world. So it is pretty big Bitcoin news. It's more of background news, right? If you're a Bitcoin user, you're not really aware because this is kind of infrastructure. But I think it's important to report on. And Phil, what are your thoughts from a user perspective?
I mean, yeah, I gotta say, from a user perspective, I don't think it's really gonna. I don't think it's gonna change anything for the end user. But I would like to at least say, some of these people, when they start businesses like this, of course, you expect to be successful. But I think that this is one of those businesses that got way too big, way too fast, and kind of got ahead of him. So look, this is probably it's going to be a lot less stressful for him. Now he can go and maybe start something different, or, just move on to something a little bit, maybe right now for the moment, less competitive, so hey, look, good for him. But at the same time, he helped start a shit fork. So
Yeah, this guy,
peace.
he is the author of him and Roger Ver. I think Roger Ver is the. I
and
don't
and
want to
Craig,
say. I don't want to say and Craig. I don't want to say
Craig.
brains because I don't think any of them have brains. I think they're all scam artists.
They were all sharing one when they made BCash.
Man, this was the guy that supported BCash from the mining perspective.
Yep.
When the fork happened in back in the day or a couple of years ago, they needed Jihan's hash rate to kind of take over Bitcoin. At one point, the Bitcoin Cash hash rate did overpass the Bitcoin hash rate 2 times, but only for a little bit. But I'm not gonna lie, it freaked me out a little bit when it happened. What about you, Phil?
Yeah, a lot of people. I think. I mean, I remember when it happened, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, and at that moment, it just became like I was like, how is that even? It's like, how is that even possible? I'm like, it's not even the real thing. And anyways, I was glad, obviously, to see it change course.
It was totally, for anyone that's worried, it's like, why did that happen? It was totally artificial, and they made that happen because Jihan owned a considerable amount of the hash rate. So they artificially, at a loss, mined Bitcoin Cash, with the assumption that it was going to overtake Bitcoin. Obviously, they were wrong. And I think that Bitcoin needed that stress test to prove a lot of its resilience, right? Yep. So at the end of the day, it was good, but in the moment, in the flux, it was very scary. So the next piece of news, look, guys, this is just, we've reported this. Again, you heard this first. Wow. You heard this first from Simply Bitcoin. We've been telling you this is going to happen. We've been giving you all the signs, all the hedge funds, Michael Saylor, the insurance companies, like the only thing that's missing is a country buying Bitcoin as reserves, right? It looks like the mayor of Miami might put some, shout out Miami, might put some Bitcoin, some Miami reserve or whatever into Bitcoin. I guess that counts kind of like a country because it is a government. I don't know, but the title of the article is Bitcoin Liquidity Crisis. Bitcoin is becoming harder to buy on exchanges. Data shows, right? Bitcoin is becoming more difficult to buy, according to an analyst at Glassnode. The amount of Bitcoin received and spent among entities is decreasing, which means the liquidity is declining, right? Why is this happening? Again, we've been reporting this for a couple weeks. Just another piece of news. Anthony Scaramucci's Skybridge has invested $182 million into Bitcoin. We've been saying this, guys. We've been pitching you this pitch, and it's very simple. Everyone's going to pile in, and there's not enough to go around, and the hodlers are not going to sell their Bitcoin at these prices, right? So I don't think a lot of us are going to sell Bitcoin at any price because it's more than price for us at this point. It's about the sovereignty. And I don't think that a lot of people in the traditional finance industry understand that for a lot of Bitcoiners, it's about the freedom, right? Orange coin go up. Yes, that's amazing. Not going to lie. That's a very important aspect of it. But I think the second most important aspect is the fact that when you own Bitcoin, it's yours and you don't have to ask anybody permission to send, receive, or store millions, billions, or trillions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. It could be in your possession and you don't have to ask anybody permission, right? So I think that's a component that's being overlooked by the mainstream, right? For now, I think the price is catching up to that. Phil, what are your thoughts on all this?
Yeah, I mean, look, the fact that there's less liquidity on the exchanges for people to buy Bitcoin, not a surprise. What you're saying about the price going up, what really, it's not that the Bitcoin price goes up, it's that the money printers just never stop, right? So number go up because the printer never stops going burr. So that being said, what's really important is that we're maintaining our stored value, right? The time that we choose to spend, working and converting that whether it's mental or physical labor into Bitcoin, this is the reward for that. And as a result, like there's a reason why so many people are turning to it, right? It's not just, yes, it is the qualities of the fixed supply, but at the same time, more people are waking up to the fact that otherwise, without Bitcoin, they're running on a treadmill.
Absolutely.
Right? Like you just have to keep running faster and faster, and the treadmill gets bigger and bigger.
Absolutely. And at this point, it's crazy to say, because through the years of the bear market, you would have heard this Anthony Scaramucci's news and you would have exploded in joy. But I think that we've gotten used to the fact that so many hedge funds, so many insurance companies, so many companies public companies are buying Bitcoin, that we've just gotten numb to that. $182 million invested by a hedge fund that has to stay loyal to their shareholders, right? So their shareholders are on board with this decision, right? So if that doesn't make you bullish, I don't know what will. We hit an all-time high today, man. It like I said yesterday, I've been saying for the last 2-3 weeks, guys, the stars is aligning for Bitcoin. And if you guys want to enjoy the ride, definitely subscribe to Simply Bitcoin. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll take you along for the ride. Phil, there was I would say it was a launch. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us about it?
Software releases. All right, so it looks like today, the Umbrel App Store launched. So they're gonna, they're adding more. We've talked about Umbrel before. They're adding a lot of stuff to their node, and they're doing it incrementally. Anyways, details to that will be in the show notes down below.
Awesome. Thank you, Phil. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Simply Bitcoin. I forgive me for the shadows and all that stuff. I am traveling. I am on the move.
You're a terrible human.
It's a little difficult for me to set up in so many places, but I'll have that fixed for you tomorrow. Don't you worry. Guys, if you like the episode, you know what to do, and we'll see you tomorrow for another episode of Simply Bitcoin.
Peace.